Hey everybody, how y'all been doing? Hope you're doing good today. I've gotten a lot of comments and questions as far as gluing wood. What is stronger, glue on one side, glue on both sides, full glue? What do you get the best holding strength from? So today, me and little Mr. Stretch Armstrong behind me here are gonna do a test and see what we get, find out whether gluing the wood on both sides or one side makes a difference, whether full coverage of glue or moderate amount of glue, what makes a difference. Also, several people have mentioned us putting extreme pressure on the clamps, squeeze out all the glue, and give you weak glue joints. So, I don't know. I've always liked to squeeze my clamps nice and tight. So let's give it a run, see, and find out. Hope y'all are doing well. And my friends, if you have subscribed in the past, or if you do subscribe, I'm honored. Please, please take a minute and leave me a little comment and let me know. I really like to say hello and thank you. It means a lot to me. And thank you guys. Let's get at it here and see what we can learn. Okay guys, we're set up here, ready to get started. I'm going to do 5 different tests, and it's on the application of how to apply the glue and how the strengths are for different applications. And I've been asked many times, can you glue wood with resin? Well, that's an expensive way to glue wood, but absolutely you can glue resin. Is it as strong as the glue? Let's find out. Alright guys, we're going to call our first one a moderate amount of glue. Alright guys, this one is full coverage, one side. Alright guys, this one is glue 2 sides. This one, my friends, I'm going to do moderate glue again. What I'm going to do different, I've had a lot of people see me really go down on clamps, get them nice and real tight, and I've had several people say that over tightening clamps squeezes out all your glue and you don't get as good a grip. And I'm going to go ahead and say right up front before we even do the test, I disagree with that. Okay guys, and on this one we're going to use resin, and what I'm using is some Total Boat 2-to-1 slow. Like I said, pricey way to glue wood, but you know what, I bet you don't get any glue lines. You know what glue lines are? Yellow glue and hide glue will rise over years, or swell, or expand. Alrighty, my friends, here we go. Remember, on our first one we put a moderate amount of glue, just one side, and regular clamped it. Our second one we put glue solid on one side, which is very common practice in woodworking, which is also we put glue on two sides. We put the same moderate amount of glue and squeeze the heck out of it, over clamped it. And last and nowhere far by least, our resin sample. Normally overnight is fine for yellow glue. That's not good enough for the resin, so I'm gonna let them all sit for 3 days, get good and solid. I have a 9-inch overlap on a 3.5-inch piece wide wood on every one of them, so they all have the same amount of surface being glued together. No difference there at all. The red oak is about 7/8 of an inch thick, just a little over it. 41.5 inches long. I did make them all in exact length, and I have a reason for that, and I'll certainly show you. And we're going to give them each all the same amount of pressure when we test them and see if it makes a difference how you glue it as far as the strength of the glue goes. As obviously, if the moderate glue were to hold the same amount of pressure as the two-sided glue, you'd be saving a lot of glue by just gluing it moderately. If over-tightening squeezed out all the glue and didn't hold it well, you wouldn't want to over-tighten it, and so on. So we'll go through all that when we do our test. Alrighty. Okay, y'all, Mr. Stretch Armstrong's giving it all he can, and he can't put a bend in that board, so I'm going to have to try something else. Alright guys, here's my jig. It's a 4x4 treated lumber frame with some corner braces and a couple of legs to hold it up in the air. I've put an 1.5 inch deep slot in the bottom and an 1.5 inch deep slot in the top. Made a little grab device for our scale, then a piece of 3/4 inch all thread, and pulling on the other end with the wrench. So we're going to test each glue up and the piece of resin and see what we get. Let's get at it. Guys, I'm so sorry. Jeez, what a bonehead I am sometimes. The resin broke at 250 pounds. 250 pounds of pressure. And the resin itself snapped, not the wood. I won't make that mistake and mess up on the camera again, I promise. Okay guys, our next one is the moderate amount of glue and the over-tight clamp. So we'll call it the over-tight clamp. Okay guys, this time we've got our board with just a regular moderate amount of glue on one side. Roughly 553 pounds. Alrighty my friends, on this one we've got the glue on one side, solid glue one side. Alright guys, and last but not least, we've got glue two sides. $5.50. Hey guys, let's take a look here and see. This is glue both sides. I don't know if y'all can see it through the camera. You can there at the line, the smooth and then the rough. The wood grain broke, not the glue. I think you can see it a little more distinct on this one. Let me see. There you go. Wood grain was lost. That's what we glue on both sides. Glue one side, same thing. The wood grain tore. The wood grain tore. Moderate glue. The wood grain tore. Chunks of wood off the other side. By having glue on the whole surface on one side, moderate glue on one side, more surface area, a little stronger. Glue on both sides, still got wood break, but it didn't seem to be as strong, and I don't know why. More glue on this than on this. It's been 3 days for both of them, so they've got the same amount of cure time, but I got wood breakage on all three of them, not glue breakage. On overclamped, I got the same thing. Total wood breakage. On resin, I got the same thing. The wood breakage. You might have heard glue is stronger than the wood. It's truth. Hey my friends, I hope you all enjoyed that. I haven't finished editing the video yet, so I hadn't been able to look and see at the exact point where the wood's broke. But from what I saw so far, overall it didn't make any difference whether you used a moderate amount of glue on one side or glue on both sides. You were still getting very, very strong pressure for the glue from anything you could be gluing up furniture wise or woodworking wise. I mean 500 plus pounds on everything except for the resin there, which was just a trial and error issue, is sufficient, more than sufficient, for any type of wood movement or project. And that Titebond sure held up well. I got to give kudos to Titebond on their glues. I've always been very happy with them. So I think moderate glue with a lot of pressure. The reason I say a lot of pressure is I like to get a tighter glue clamp than you get just by moderate tightening. I like to tighten quite a bit. And overall it doesn't weaken the strength at all. 620 pounds, 650 pounds. What's the difference? If it's holding that much weight and that much pressure, you're good to go. So, I hope y'all learned something from that. If I find out a little more when I'm editing the video up here, I'll get back with you. So, let me get at it, my friends. And thank you. Good to see you as always. Sure hope you subscribe. If you do, please leave me a comment. Let me know so I can say hello and thank you. And y'all have a good one now. I got to get back. I'm working on a few more videos. Some resin work I'm doing. And I'm also building a shop bench. Not for myself. I have a friend that has a shop and asked me if I would build him a bench. So, that's what I'm working on. And I'll be back. I promise.